Welcome to the Cryptic Commander on YouTube, proudly sponsored by North Valley Games. You can go to northvalleygames.com and save 10% off your orders. We're sponsored by the Hobby Goblins. We're partnered with Magic the Gathering Player Group. You can find them on Facebook and Cosmic Gaming. Today, your two hosts are Luna,
Jarrett.
and today we're going to be cracking some packs. Well, Jarrett, tell us a little bit about this kit.
Well, so far as I know about this kit, is that where to begin? I mean, I'm intrigued with it. It follows along the sides of Dungeons and Dragons, and right now I'm loving the fact of all the dragons that are in it. So, I mean,
Yeah, personally, I like the fact they brought back initiative. They have the D20 of rolling, and with D20 rolling, you roll dice. You roll initiative. The cool thing about the actual dungeon, which we have one right here, not only the initiative, the ability, but also with the Undercity. This Undercity that actually is part of the story of the Baldur's Gate within the D&D lore. So, Jarrett, why don't we get cracking?
sure, why not? Let's crack right into it. Last few times we've opened this up and we've gotten a green die. Try 4 for 4?
Maybe it'll be sunny side up.
What do you mean sunny side up?
Well, we are cracking some eggs. I wonder if there's any, zero drops that are artifacts? Those are Cheerios, though. So it'd be hard to crack some Cheerios. Eggs are artifacts, though, that you do tap for mana to crack them and sack them. So we get any eggs, which technically eggs do exist in this set.
Oh, all right then. You want to take a gander what color die?
You said green. What was your guess?
My guess, I'm hoping for a blue.
So we've gotten 3 green. I guessed red last time. You guessed blue last time. I'm going to guess black.
And it is red.
Oh, so
Neither
of us were right.
You should have kept with your first one.
Yep. I should have with my instincts.
I'm going to pull this down so we can hide what the promo is. And the promo of this wonderful... I'm getting there, sorry. Alright, and it is... Intellect Devourer. It's a horror. Horror. Intellect Devourer has Devour Intellect. When Intellect Devourer enters the battlefield, each opponent exiles a card from their hand until Intellect Devourer leaves the battlefield. It has Body Thief. You may play lands and cast spells from among cards exiled with Intellect Devourer. If you cast a spell this way, you may spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it. So, not bad. Not bad. Definitely intrigued, but I don't know how I would improvise that into a deck yet.
For me, I'd still look for my commander. I'd try to figure out what my commander is in my next few picks.
Right.
But we're just opening for fun.
Yeah, definitely for fun. So we got Fire Diamond. Lightning Bolt alternate art. No.
I really appreciate this art.
No.
I just truly do.
No. I know what you're going to ask. We'll talk about it later. Marching Duodrome. Lurking Green Dragon.
This dragon is actually interesting. Why don't you read this one?
Lurking Green Dragon. 3 generic, 1 forest. Flying Lurking Green Dragon can't attack unless defending player controls a creature with flying.
So essentially, in a multiplayer game and with a bunch of dragons, this works. But in any other format, this is a 4-mana 4/4 with flying wall, essentially. Because if their opponent doesn't have flying, then it just can't attack, so it's a blocker. So it's interesting why they printed this, and the question is because there's so many flyers.
We got Sword Coast Serpent, Reckless Barbarian, Wayfarer's Bauble.
Oh wait a minute. Wait, is that? Oh no, that's never mind. That's mana. Not mana. This mana ramping.
Mana Ramping. Oh. Steedfast Unicorn. Druidic Ritual. Kenku Artificer. Tiamat's Fanatics? Yeah, my bad. Tiamat's Fanatics. Armor of Shadows. Gilding Bolt. Gilding Bolt. Destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Commander Laria Porter. So, Commander. We got an Emerald Dragon. Geode Golem. Ooh. Lazan Dragon's Legacy. It's a dragon shaman. We got our legendary enchantment background. Scion of Halster, my bad, Halster. And our rare is Wand of Wanderer.
So what does the Wand of the Wanderer do?
It's a 3 generic mountain drop. Pay 4, tap this, roll a d20. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile an instance or sorcery card, then shuffle the rest into their library. You may cast up to X instances and or sorcery spells from among cards exiled, this way without paying their mana costs. So rolling 1 through 9, X is 1. 10 through 19, X is 2. And if you roll an actual 20, it's 3.
That's interesting. They're printing another wand. There's one, I can't remember exactly what it does, that I have actually in my cube. Essentially, it's a pay 4 mana. You choose an opponent, they exile until they exile cards, and then you get essentially instant sorcery from the top. And so this is another one that does it. The fact that you get to do it to each opponent, it's making so many more wands. That one is colorless though, so this is making so card draw in red.
Pretty much. And you could do, instead of 1, there's the possibility of 2 or 3. So it's...
Yeah, they adapted it for multiplayer.
Yeah, essentially you can, exile up to 12 instances and sorceries?
Well, let's review the card again.
You may cast up to... Or, no, yeah.
So, roll a d20. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library. So far, let's say you have 3 opponents. So, that's 3 targets. So, each of their libraries in exile an instant or sorcery card from them, and shuffles the rest in the library. So, X is 1, X is 2, X is 3. So, no, essentially, if you have 3 opponents, you could choose to cast up to 3 cards. You wouldn't be able to have a multiplayer.
Oh, yeah, okay. I misread that. What's their foil? A speaker, or stone speaker crystal. Foil, alternate art. So it's mana rock, technically, isn't it?
Yeah.
Huh. Foiled on top of that. Pretty. Alright. On to the next.
The one thing that disappoints me with this set, they didn't bring back the party mechanic. Because Dungeons and Dragons, you have the party essentially, and you go on your adventures. The first time that was put, we found a party was in the new Zendikar set, whatever what was the newest Zendikar set? Do you remember, Jarrett?
Is it Rise of Xanarchy?
Yeah, the Rise of Zendikar Rising. That's what it was. Zendikar Rising. They brought adventure, and that's like just you have to. party. You have to create a party. That's such the flavor of what D&D wants to do. And then we had a D&D set where they could have definitely they could have stepped it up. It had more of that set coming over. So then you have your party, and then with D&D you have another party. This set they brought back adventure That's what I said it. But because the adventure's coming back, that's really cool. But the fact that you have a party, it's really disappointing for me that in a D&D set, they haven't touched on that. Maybe in our next, later on, they'll have another party, because the fact that you're having different creatures coming together to form this mechanic that adds on to. I hope they really capitalize on that in the future.
They pretty will. I wouldn't see any problem with it, but you know how Wizards likes to evolve more and try and come up with new ideas to make the game more fun. So
Yeah. And it did make it a Zendikar mechanic. For me, it just flavor-wise, when you're going and you have at a table and you have sitting down with your rogue and your cleric and your other friends that are just there. It's, to me, it just flavor-wise it fits, but you're right. Anything's a possibility as well.
yeah, anything. But so this one we have Universal Solvent, Druid of the Emerald Grove, Contact Other Plane, Ingenious Artillerist, Parasitic Impetus, Pegasus Guardian, Scaled Nurturer. I almost thought that said something else. For some reason, my mind was. Let's not go there. Runaway Together.
This card beat me in the pre-release. I was played against a guy who just, you know what? There's all these bounce spells. I'm gonna play blue. So that card was played almost 4 or 5 times against me and the other players in my pod during the pre-release.
Ouch. Warehouse Thief. Ghastly Death Tyrant with Beholder Skeleton. Ooh. Interesting. Scouting Hawk. Ettercap. It's a spider beast. It's a weird looking spider beast, but it's a spider beast.
So it like vomits spider, it vomits webs instead of pooping webs?
Yeah, pretty much. Faceless One.
Can be your commander or your background. You could even have a commander background and have like a few different decks floating around and just, you know what? I'm going to have 2 faithless ones as my commander and my background just so I can play these 2 colors and not even care about what my commander is.
Right. Bag of Holding. Bane Contingency. Passageway Seer. Scanos Dragonheart?
This is a go-to in your dragon deck that you have.
Really?
Yeah, you might want to read this one.
When Scanos Dragonheart attacks, it gets +X into the end of turn, where X is the greatest power among other dragons you control, and dragon cards in your graveyard. Choose a background. That might be. Yeah, I can make it where it will become a pretty big creature.
Yeah.
So.
Only disappointing thing is the not giving trample, or does it give trample?
No, it does not.
Okay, it does not. So that's the only disappointing thing.
It is. And then we got Dragon Cultist. Might go in. But it's my legendary enchantment background.
Yeah.
And then we got Fraying Line. It's an artifact. When Fraying Line enters the battlefield, put a rope counter on target creature you control. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player may pay 2. If they do, they put a rope counter on a creature they control. Otherwise, exile Fraying Line and each creature without a rope counter on it. Then remove all rope counters from all creatures. Huh. I guess it's a little bit more confusing. I kind of understand it, but I mean...
Here, let me read this. So it's 4 mana. So when Fraying Line enters the battlefield, put a rope counter on target creature you control. So essentially it's putting a fishing line. It's a fishing pole in a sense.
Pretty much.
At the beginning of each player's upkeep, so this triggers each turn, which gives it extra value. So I understand why now it's a 4 mana. That way, at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player may pay 2. If they do, they put a rope counter on a creature they control. Otherwise, exile fraying line and each creature without a rope counter on it. Then wait. Oh, remove this and each creature without a rope counter on it. Then remove all rope counters from each creature. So it's a colorless board wipe. So it's somewhat in the Ristic Study and somewhat in what's the card that makes a bunch of treasure? It's white. It's not. Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties. The power smothering tithe got upset. So, anyways, this card goes in with the relying of Smothering Tithe and Ristic Study. Essentially, this is a 4-drop instead of a 3-drop because it goes in colorless, so it gets 1 more mana. Unless I'm misremembering, if they are 4-drops as well, then they go right in there because it's still the 2 mana. But this is a colorless board wipe in a sense. Essentially, each player gets the choice: do I want to create the board wipe, or do I want to save the creature? Do I want to have a board wipe, or do I want to save the creatures? So essentially, the fraying line is going out there, and if somebody wants to get rid of it really quickly, just sack a creature. So this has a versatile, different effects. I think. What any thoughts for you?
No, I think you kind of covered that pretty well on that. So.
All right. Well, looks like we got 1 more pack. Let's get cracking.
Oh yeah! Don't forget our foil of you meet in the tavern. Form a party. There's your party.
Yeah, so they did have some party flavor in the set.
Ooh, 4/4 dragon. Pack number 3. Hopefully something good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess we're now opening it from that end. Or this, and I'll figure this out. Hold on. There we go. Okay. First one, Heap Gate. Ooh.
Right out the gate.
Ba-dum-dum. Yeah.
But a Dutch. But a Dutch. That's how it goes.
Charcoal Diamond. Hey. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this thing to actually zoom in and not be so blurry.
Here.
There we go. Oh. Black Dragon Gate. Hey. Went in through one gate, out the other. Psychic Impetus. Young Red Dragon. Izaru. Icewind Stalwart. Circle of the Land Druid. Stunning Strike. Earth Tremor. Artisious Experiment. I said that right. Flaming Fist Officer. Carefree Swine Master. Wilson's Refined Grizzly. So, Winnie the Pooh.
I mean, it is a legendary bear, one of the best legendary bears ever. So if you want to have your bear deck, you got to remember, are you counting 2 2s as bears or just bears as bears?
Right. Hammer of Moradin. Split the Spoils. Vicondro Apostate. Yeah.
Viconia Dro Apostate. Unless I'm pronouncing that. Sorry, I know this is probably an actual character in D&D.
Yeah, I would go with it. Then we have Cloakwood Hermit, which is our legendary enchantment background. Oh, the squirrels are back. And then our rare Ancient Bronze Dragon.
And it's the alternate art. Nice.
Ooh. Got the original now and the art alternate. With our foiled Guardian Naga. Alright. That's I love it.
Alright, thank you very much for watching the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video anywhere you can share it on social media or anywhere else you like to share it. Go ahead and check out the Crytpic Commander on anywhere you can check out the podcasts. And then we truly do appreciate you listening. Again, check out the Crytpic Commander anywhere where you can listen to podcasts. And this is Luna.
This is Jarrett.
Signing out.
Doodle.